What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fantastic Thursday morning? We're going to try this one more time. Okie dokie. So, Meta is a position I am currently in. You just saw me get stopped out of a long trade that I had on the S&P 500. It's probably going to take out the low and then bounce. I don't know. If we come over here and look at the SPX itself, you'll see that red line down there is the expected move to the downside. All right, so basically what that means is this week we had an $80 expected move. This red line is the expected move to the downside. This green line is the expected move to the upside. $80 plus or minus from where Friday closed, which is right here. And you can see we almost tagged that yesterday. We are open now. The market is moving a little bit lower, but not bad. This is the position that I had on yesterday. I shorted it by buying a put at 27.30. That put was closed yesterday for a profit. And ZM was a call that I sold at 74.50. I closed that trade out as well for a profit. This morning, though, the account not looking so good, mainly because I just got stopped out of that trade. And secondly, this Meta trade is down pretty big. Excuse me. Yesterday, I was supposed to close the trade, but what I'm going to do is if we start closing 5-minute candles above this white line, 298.96, I will close the trade for a loss. All right. How's everybody doing this fantastic Thursday morning? I hope everybody's week is going a little bit better than mine is, but it's still going, right? Yesterday on Bitcoin, we did actually short it, or I did. I shorted it at hourly resistance. Let's go look at that trade, how it's doing. So basically, right there at 26,747. That's where I got short. I was actually watching on this candle right here to see if it was going to go up and make fresh daily highs and then come back down and started to drop. So I went ahead and took my short entry there. Still holding that position. You can see that we are testing old daily support right now. If we go to the daily time frame, you will see that we lost that daily support right here on this day, which happened to be Sunday. And then this is your week right here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we're testing this right here. We'll see if it holds. If not, I might go ahead and take a profit on that trade as well. But I would like to keep it on. So I'll probably just move my stop to break even. That way, if it does continue to go up, I'll get stopped out. It's no big deal. I'll just reposition myself higher. I do believe Bitcoin is going to roll over eventually because we got a death cross, and a death cross is never good on the daily time frame. So let's see if the internet can pull it up here. Yeah, there you go. And this is the 55. All right, so the actual death cross is when you have a 50 and a 200 cross. So that crossed days ago. All right. So this was like a phenomenal opportunity to get short. But this indicator, for some reason, has the 55 as the setting. So we'll leave it at that. But there you go. You got the death cross on the 55 as well. As long as price stays trading under 26,952, the cross will continue. It's only until price gets back above that and starts trending to the upside will you actually have that cross get uncrossed. Killed. So let's see why. Probably because it's going up. Like I said, but when I'm out and about doing errands, I really don't look at my phone all the time, right? It's either going to be a winning trade or it's going to be a losing trade, and that's how I rock. So let's go ahead and close down the part of this trade that is losing, which is this put right here. Go ahead and shut him down. We don't want to incur much more losses than we've already incurred. All right, so there's that. Now, there still is a trade on, but this is a put spread. So we'll go look at that real quick. It's still got 22 days on it. So I'm going to leave this trade on simply because Meta is probably just going to run the stops up in here and then roll back over. But that is, of course, as long as the S&Ps continue to go lower. Apple's down today. Pretty big gap down. I mean, Apple controls a huge portion of the S&P 500. So we'll see what happens there. Amazon gapping down. Google was like Meta yesterday, right? Google was the only tech stock, and Microsoft closed up. Most of them went up at the end of the day. Had a big move to the upside. Nvidia closed up on the day. You're moving higher. And Tesla closed down on the day, but today you're moving higher. The simple reason why this is happening is because you are at the 200 exponential moving average on the daily time frame. So this purple line right here, that is your 200. So that's what's causing it to bounce, or what caused it to bounce yesterday. So yeah, I don't think you're gonna take out yesterday's low. You got daily support right here at 42.70. These prices do not match what's going on inside the ES minis, simply because it's a different thing. It's a CFD. It's not the actual futures contract. So you can see right here, this candle stopped me out of the trade. It's probably gonna go on higher. So we'll look if we can get another entry, and we'll try one more time. And if we lose again, we'll be done for the day, as that was a huge loss on that Meta put position. Much more than I typically like to lose. I typically only like to lose 1% of the account's value. That's much more than 1% of the account's value. $60 would have been the account's value. So that's more than double. So not very good there. Not a way to open the stream, right? With losing trades. I mean, who does that? You suck, Trade Talk. You're the only streamer I know that loses money. All right. Now that I got that drink out of the way, Bitcoin is trading up to hourly res. Let's go take a look at that. And then I will get, let's see where you at. Oh, it's all the way up there. Back to the hourly. I will get Thinkorswim up so we can run some scans and see if we can't find something to trade. All right, let me get that up. It was up, but for some reason, there for a second, everything said I lost internet connection, but I didn't. Everything is still up and running. Download speeds were cranking at 30 something, so I mean, there's no reason for it to shut down. But it did, so I went ahead and closed out the application. But I will fire it back up. Fire it will. Let's get this beast up and running, and we'll run some scans. We'll check to see if there's any unusual options activity. It's one of my favorite scans to run, because if there are some unusual options activity, we might take that trade. So here we currently are. Yep, just stopped me out, and then up she goes. I'm sure you guys have had that happen before. It happens to everybody. But when we're down here at the 200 exponential moving average, I'm not looking for shorts, right? It's as simple as that. Oil's pulling back, the dollar's pulling back. We did have a bit of news out this morning that gave the dollar a spike, which literally caused this move down on the S&Ps, but it wasn't terrible news. And even if it was terrible news, the 200 is a good spot to be a buyer, always. I've told you guys that so many times. It's not even funny. Because, investors look for that. I will buy it when it gets to the 200. It's just how it works. All right, so we got that up there. All right, perfect. Beautiful. What's going on? Awesome. All right, so let's go run a scan. See if there's any unusual options activity happening today. What scan is this? Load scan query. There we go. All right, boom. So far, not much. There looks to be a little bit of volume being thrown down on AMD. All of it being puts. Looks like there's some volume being thrown down on MU, which is Micron. Let's go look at them. AMD puts, huh? Whoa, they're getting killed. They are getting absolutely wrecked. Maybe they're selling puts. No? We can find out. We can find out what they are doing, because we know what we are doing. Let's go see what they're doing, guys. Let's go see what they're doing. All right. So here we got total calls, puts. That's the total amount there. But what we want to focus on is, are they buying calls? Anytime you see something that's traded at the ask or above, that means they are buying calls and puts. It doesn't tell us if they're opening positions, like, are they buying puts to open a short position, or are they buying puts back that they already sold previously? Does that make sense? We don't know that, but we do know if it's being bought or sold with these two columns right here. And then you can see between the market, which is where I trade, quite a bit of call activity happening, more so than put activity. So when something's trading between the market, that just means the spread. All right, I'll show you. Here, if we go back over to the trade table, you can see, let me see, if I wanted to throw AMD, a put on AMD, which I'm not going to because AMD's absolutely mooning right now, but if I wanted to, I would come over here, right? Are these going down? Yes, they're going down. All right. And then I would buy an at the money put. But as you can see, right there, that's in between the market. All right. That's in between the market. And I do that no matter if I'm selling or buying. I never sell on the ask or buy on the bid. It's always between the spread. All right. The reason for that is simple, because you can get in cheaper, right? Why pay $6.20 for it if you can pay $6.15 or $6.0 or $6.10, right? The whole objective is to make as much as you can, and Bitcoin just closed above hourly res. So let's go look at that. AMD is flying today. It is rocking and rolling. Let's get our other two moving averages up real quick just so we can see what the structure looks like. All right, so you haven't lost the 100 yet on with the 50. This could be a selling opportunity. There might be some news out, so let's check that before we go off and get all crazy and stuff. Get all crazy and stuff. Let's see, AMD. Would you please? Thank you. All right, so 927, that was yesterday. That's the biggest news that we, or the earliest news that we got right here. Why won't it give me the news? 10 informative stocks with whale alerts in today's session. Joe Biden is set to unveil a $100 million research initiative to tackle the growth threat of drug-resistant bacteria. More than 1 million people worldwide succumb to the infections caused by antibiotic-resistant bacteria annually, as reported by the World Health Organization. How does this have anything to do with the U.S. disease control prevention? I don't see how that has anything to do with AMD. I guess it does somehow. All right, so yeah, I can't see why there's any news. It's all old news. Yeah, it's old news. I would just assume that it's this, right? I mean, you got this thing flying. Risk assets are gonna fly. We could check Market Watch real quick just to see if we're bullish or bearish today. We don't want to look at the heat map. This is what we want to look at. This is called the advanced decline line. The reason that we want to look at it is simple. I only look at the S&P 100 because it's the 100 biggest stocks inside of the S&P 500, the biggest market cap. So if we run this, we can see that the majority of stocks are bullish today. So we have 69 advancing and we have 31 declining. So the ADD is positive, which is also good for bullish price action. It's just I got in the trade and it stopped me out. That happens. That's life. That's the way trading works. You're not always going to be right, even if you think you will be. Even if you think you know price is going to do one thing, it comes down, stops you out, and then goes and does it. You bastard. I'm just kidding. Not really that upset. It's just a trade. We're still positive on the year by $852, so it's not like we have to worry too much, right? We're doing good. We're doing good. But that meta put was a huge loss. I should have closed it yesterday, but like I said, maybe I should pay attention to my phone when I'm out and about. But I typically don't, especially when I'm with my girl, because she's more important than stock tickers and where our current price is. Even though it's my job, I like to kind of put her first. USD CAD had a nice move 2 days ago. Yesterday had a pullback. You can see today it's tested resistance and kind of coming off. That's because the US dollar itself is pulling back finally. I mean, we all knew it was going to happen, but yesterday it put in one last big gigantic screw you candle in there, stopping out everybody and then rolling over. Because you know how many people shorted it there and then shorted it there and then shorted it there and then you get what I'm saying, right? So finally it's pulling back. There was a couple people that got short on Euro inside the Discord this morning. It was a profitable trade. It did move lower, but it's probably about to get stopped out. You can see right here, boom, nice move to the downside. That would have been a profit-taking move. That happened with the news. Here's the news that I'm talking about. We got GDP in, was expected to be at 2.1%. It's at 2.1%. Woohoo! Initial jobless claims, we were looking for 215K. We got 204K. Woohoo! That's good news, right? You don't want more jobless claims. You want less jobless claims. And then pending home sales came in, well, much lower than expected. Right? They were expecting negative 0.8 because last time it was 0.5, but instead we got negative 7.1. Yeah, not a whole. Interest rates are so high right now. If you go buy a house right now, you're going to pay out the wazoo in just interest rates alone, right? Nope. Don't buy a house right now. If you want to buy a house, or if you're in the process of buying a house, wait for interest rates to come down, and then maybe you can get a bank to lend you the money and give you a fixed rate mortgage plan, which is what you want. That way, if rates do go up in the future, you will not be affected by it. But as of right now, today, if you buy a house, you will be affected by the interest rates. And they will be terrible. It will be terrible. Your payments will be much more than they usually would be. But euro dollar coming down here to yearly support. It's the lowest yearly closing bearish candle we have ever had on the euro. That is simply why this thing is pulling back, right? It's pulling back because of that. Almost about to get a death cross on this as well. So, we expect to pull back. We expected a pullback on the dollar. I mean, come on, 10 straight weeks in a row up. It's time to pull back, dollar. Time to pull back, Mr. Dollar. What are you doing? You can't do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 weeks straight up in a row. But will this one close up or will it close down? That's the question. That's everybody's question right now. Ooh, I accidentally hit start virtual camera, but I don't have a camera, so it wouldn't matter anyways. All right, so yeah, that's that. Let's pull this over here to live. It says I got excellent connection. No drop frames. All right. Doing good so far. Love it. Let's go look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is, been having a pretty bad week. Had a bad week last week, but if you notice, the NASDAQ did not close below the 21 exponential moving average, but the S&P 500 did. And then we had another move to the downside. So what we are currently watching is to see if this is a bear trap or not. And they can take weeks. They can take weeks, guys, not just one. Multiple weeks. I'm going to show you this real quick. Right there was a bull trap, right, where you broke out right here above the 21. I guess I should have grouped those candles in there as well, huh? So, all right, so we tend to get bearish on this candle. This is what we want to see because it's a huge candle. It's a legit breakdown is what I call them. Whenever that happens, it's called a legit breakdown because it is. It's legit. But whenever you just barely close above like you did on this candle, you got to be careful because this is right here. A lot of people's going to switch to being bullish again because you're back above the 21 exponential usually, or we don't try to. You just watched me fall for one this morning. I can't say that, can I? That would just be a lie. Especially seeing now. You just watched me fall for a damn trap. All right, so anyways, but that was an intraday trap. That's different. That is different. But if this ends up being a bear trap, this breakdown right here, we'll know it. If we get a bullish close back above the 21, then we'll start looking back for bullish entries on the S&P 500. Looking for a bullish entry down here is okay because, like I said, you're at the 200 exponential right there, that purple line. So that's typically going to be a spot to look to be a buyer, usually, right? Now, whether price goes up or not, that's different. But if you are looking to buy dips in the market, that's a hell of a nice dip to buy, isn't it? The 200 exponential. So we'll see what happens with the dollar. If it keeps increasing, I would expect that we would eventually lose that 200 exponential, but only time will tell. On an intraday basis, looking for day trade scalps, if we lose the daily 21, we'll go ahead and start looking for scalps. Because what that does when you lose the daily 21 is it also puts you under the 50. And the 50, above the 50's bullish control, below the 50's bearish control. That's the way we look at the RSI. Nothing more, nothing less, right? We don't expect them to cycle in, cycle out, or none of that stuff. We just say, is it bearish or is it bullish? And if it's above, then it's bullish. Then we look for bullish entries. So, yeah, this is still in bearish territory. It hasn't made any bullish divergence yet, but it probably will. It probably will from down here. We'll see. In order for that to happen, though, it need to make a fresh low or a fresh closing low. And it doesn't seem like that's what's going to happen. So it does appear to be struggling at the open. So let's get our intraday charts back up here, because if we pull back down into this right here, we can look for a long. This is an old line. It's support. You can see it right there. That's daily support. So, I mean, technically one could buy there, but on a 5-minute time frame, I don't really, buy those tests. Simply because you can drop down below it, and we'll see what happens. This dotted purple line here, that is the VWAP, volume weighted average price. And if the day is going to be a trend up day, then we will look to buy either the 21 exponential, which is the blue line, and it is moving to the upside, or we'll buy the VWAP. I like it when it gets here, so if we could get a pullback, when it looks like this, I will take a long entry, and we'll see how that one works out. And like I said, if we get stopped out again, we'll be done. Dollar is moving back to the downside. Back to the lows. Back to the lows of day. You can see you are about to take out yesterday's low. However, this is not an engulfing because you did not take out the previous day's high. You got to take out the previous day's high for it to be an engulfing. Yeah. What's up? Live streaming, baby. Good morning, D-Gens. Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Tom. We all love you. You're the best. Thank you, KF. I appreciate that. Good morning. Can you take a look at it? $238.82. And the only reason I'm saying that, if we go look intraday, you can see just how price bounced off of that level. I mean, these levels are legit, man. I'm telling you. Obviously, you fell through it right here, but just briefly, you got back above it, and then it maintained support. This is what you want to see right here. Now, if tech rolls back over, then there's probably not going to be a buying opportunity on. So we'll see how what ends up going on there. But as of right now, I would watch 238.82. And as long as that level holds, then you could potentially buy it there. But I think waiting for a move to guarantee that you're going to get a move to the 200, right? I don't know what price is going to do in the future. Obviously, nobody does. But if you do break down here and you do lose this support, your next support is going to put you right at the 200, around 230. So watch this line. Let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Watch this area right here. If it holds, you can buy 238.82. If it holds. The way that I do that is I watch the hourly closes. As long as it's closing hourlies above that price, then on a retest, you can buy it. Just make sure you get your stop at least under yesterday's low. Because if we take out yesterday's low, it's not going to be bear. It's not going to be bullish. As far as on a near-term time frame, like for day trades and whatnot, you've already crossed the 21. You're already in bearish territory. You have not hit oversold yet. But this could be a trap. This could be a bear trap in the making. We'll see as time goes on. You did hit overbought way over here, and you did cycle all the way down to oversold. So there is a chance that this thing could be in the process of cycling back to overbought. Remember, there's a few analysts out there that believe that we will not see a recession. We will have a soft landing. And if that is the case, then I do expect stocks to go right back up to the highs. The only reason I got bearish was because of the daily 21. That's just for day trade scalps. But there is a potential for a recession. So when that is out there and looming, a lot of people will sell their riskier assets. Tesla, Netflix, Nvidia, Microsoft, Meta, Google, Amazon, Apple, and go into safer assets like treasuries. But treasuries or bonds aren't doing so good. Treasuries are doing great. The 3-month is still sitting at 5.4%. So, I mean, if you want guaranteed growth, if 5% is good enough for you because you have a large sum of money on an annual basis, then I would go for the 5.4%. All right, it's guaranteed 5.4%. Free money. Free money. Right? That's what I would do. The 30-year, no. It's at 4.77%. So until the longer dated yields get back to where they're supposed to be, which is more, obviously, you're supposed to get paid more for holding longer duration securities. That's what the yield inversion is, right? When the near term is more expensive than the long dated. That's an inversion. And you pretty much got that on almost every single one, except the 10-year is still cheaper than the 20-year, which is decent. But you need the 30-year to get up above the 20-year. And you need the 5-year to fall. You need the 2-year to fall. Yada, yada, yada. And these near-term, 1 month, 3 months, those guys got to fall as well. But guaranteed growth right now is looking at the treasuries. The 3-month yield is carrying a 5.5%, which is not bad. The S&P, usually people when they're investing in the S&P 500, they are typically looking anywhere between 8 and 12%. That's the annual average on the S&P 500. 8 to 12%. So when you can get 5.5% on a near-term hold, that's what a lot of people will do, right? They'll run to that instead. It's safer and it's guaranteed. There's no risk involved associated unless the government defaults, and then you got a big problem. Which, if the government defaults, you got much bigger problems than your just your money, right? Because then our money, everybody's money would be worthless at that point. So yeah, but Tesla is very risky, but it pays high rewards when that thing starts to moon again, which it's possible. Um, yeah, just watch that price that I told you to watch, 238.82. That'd be a good buying opportunity as long as it holds. But you did trade up to resistance and you rolled over today. So that's not a really great look. All right, so where are we at in regards? So we did get a test of that. We should have been on guard for that, but we were not. It looks like they're going to give us another shot out of here. Did you make a higher high on the day? Not on the NASDAQ. Did you make a higher high on the day? Not on the SPOOs. You did make this, when you put in this candle right here, you did make a fresh daily high. And then with this stopping me out, you made a fresh daily low. And since price is now trading above the volume weighted average price, we would assume that it is going to go higher. However, this is concerning because it's bearish still. You're trading as an inside candle. An inside candle just means you're trading inside of the previous day's range. From high to low, that's your daily range. This high is under that high. This low is above that low. Therefore, this is an inside candle. Inside candles can often destroy traders. The simple reason is because if it's not a trend day, it could be choppy, and wherever usually people look for their buying opportunities, they get stopped out, and it just, not a good day. But we'll try one more time because I tried to get long this morning. It was just too early. I even waited for the bell and everything. But it needed to make that fresh low just to stop me out. So this line this line is going to be the same line that you're looking at on TD Ameritrade. What is that? 43.14. Well, it's not the exact same price. So let's go to the daily and see what I did wrong. Nothing. I didn't do anything wrong. Yesterday on TD Ameritrade was green. See, it's green. It closed up on the day. But for some reason, tastytrade has it closing down on the day. That's odd. Very, very odd indeed. All right, back to the 5-minute. Third time. If it tests it again, that is. If dollar has not made a fresh low yet, but it is working on it. Come on down. You're the next contestant on Trade Talk is Right. Except for when he isn't. That MetaTrade is still killing me. My goodness. Let's see. See, the spread isn't in bad shape because I'm losing $72 on the long put, but I'm up $67, $69 on the short put. This is a bearish trade, so we do need Meta to get under $300. And we'll see if that does happen in the future. I got 22 days left on that trade, so I'm not in any rush to close it down. That P&L came from this loss and that long put I had on from yesterday. And the reason I'm not sweating it is because I'll make it back. I always do. What's up, Michelle? Good morning, Andrew. I knew a girl who would put peanut butter. Okay, I'm not reading that. I am not reading that. AMD unveils purpose-built FPGA-based accelerator for ultra-low latency electronic trading. Nice. Not sure if this pushed AMD higher. I would say it did. Yeah, it's news. Any news will push a stock. It works differently in Australia. They offer fixed and variable interest rates for 3-year contract minimum. Maximums. Oh. Well, that's a 3-month. That's a 3-month. Oh, I see what you're saying for home rates. Got you. Well, we do too. Some banks do around here do too. Obviously, I mean, if you got really good credit, you could probably get a fixed and variable rate mortgage. If you got shit credit, then no, you won't. You'll pay a high interest rate. It's typically how that works. I'm just saying, while the interest rates are high, buying new homes in America is not really the best thing to do. Also, home prices are high. Like, you can look at a house like where I live, for instance, is the perfect example. Like a very small 2-bedroom house with like 1,200 square feet at best is going to run you like 250s in the 250s. Whereas like 10 years ago, you could have got the same house for 90 grand. So yeah, that's a thing that happens. And I wasn't paying attention. We did get a test of it. See that? Son of a bitch. I can't chase price because that's 7 points. 7 points is a lot. 7 point move on the ES minis is a lot. Or the micros, sorry, micro E-mini futures. It's still a lot. I'm not exactly sure what the pricing is on it yet. I haven't been able to do the math correctly. Maybe on a slow day I'll check it out when price isn't moving more than one tick at a time. Because sometimes like this right here, boom, that big move right there was from 43.04 all the way up to 43.18. If you can get a 10 handle move on the spoos, you did good for the day. A 20 handle move is a great day. When we did the FOMC, that trade was a 40 handle move. That was a great trade. So it looks like it's wanting to be an inside day. Sorry ass trading sideways garbage day. But we'll take it here. Oh no, you bastard. It'll fill me. There it was. All right, now we need to set this to sell to close, set this to market so that way that don't happen. And then we'll watch it. We'll see if it bounces again. And if it doesn't, we'll exit the position. I mean, if it's going to be a trend day, if it's going to bounce, one would assume it would do it right here, right? It's not looking good, though. All right, so now it's time to exit the position, but we'll see if we can get a bounce up first. See if we can get it around 43.10. $43.09, 50. Oh yeah, I mean, you've pretty much lost it at this point. All right, so we'll just close it out. Come on, bounce up. 43.10. That wouldn't be such a bad loss. Doesn't look like it's going to give it to me. So we'll just close it out. All right. So no more trading the spoos today because it's being stupid. You're being stupid. No, I'm just kidding. I guess it wants to be an inside day. And you know, that's one of those things. I just can't sell it down here, right? I just can't. Even though it could go lower, obviously I have no clue what it's going to do. Here's oil just trading lower and lower. Let's go look at oil on the daily time frame and see what it looks like. Yeah, it's pulling back, but nowhere near as bad as the S&Ps did. I mean, not the S&Ps, the dollar. Sorry. Gotta love cell phone internet. Gotta love it. All right, so the oil's pulling back to what old resistance was. Right here. So it'd be hard pressed to take a sell there. Or buy. In that for that case. I mean, oil needs to pull back for multiple days. If I can get it back down to the 21, I'll look to re-enter on a long. See if we got any more things happening on our unusual options activity scan. You got to be careful too because these are 1 day out. You see that set 29s? Today's the 28th. So they're buying these puts like literally with 1 day to expiration. And this is the reason right here. These are gamblers. Right? 37 cents. They're looking at it like I can afford to lose $36 on a trade that could potentially pay out hundreds of dollars, right? That's what 0 day to expiration typically, that's what they typically are doing. So we need to find them that are further dated. 98 put, 100 put, and there's a call, but that's a different asset. And then MU put, call, put. Palantir puts. And I don't know those. I know Snowflake, but 3,000 of them. Let's go look at MU and see if we can justify that trade. Oh. So AMD's getting a massive pop. Meanwhile, Micron's getting tore up from the floor up. Yeah, this is a sell. Let's sell some calls. Let's sell the 108s. Let's go out here and sell the 108s. Look at this bullshit. AMD. We got earnings coming up in no 7, so we'll go out 36 days. Tons of premium on these things. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's see where the 112s are. We can even go higher and do some good. Let's sell the 20 deltas. Let's do that. Let's sell the 159s and see if we can get filled at 161. Now, you see where I'm at right here, 164, 166. Watch me make this market. I put it at 164. Watch. 160, 169, review, send. Look, it changed to 164 on the ask. That's because that's me. All right? That's me. Retail does get preferential treatment when it comes to getting filled in options. We are in there. So, we'll keep an eye on it, right? We'll keep an eye on it. That's a pretty good premium. It's $161. That would, if it does indeed stay under $116 in 30 days, that'd be nice. So 116 Alt H. We'll mark it as 116. And then give me 1 second. I gotta put the trade in the Discord because signal announcements. I do signals. I gotta put this in here. So sold 116 call at 164. Strike call at 164. And how many days out? 36 days out. $36 days out. Boom, it's in there. All right. So we'll keep our eyes on this. We are just outside the expected move. So usually when I sell calls, I like to get under 9, like around a 9 delta. But you can see right here at the 10 deltas, there just really isn't quite enough premium because I need $80 at this point, right? Just to make a 1% gain. So this trade right here at 10 just doesn't cut it. But it's pretty close to the expected move given this time range. This ruler right here is your expected move. It's priced in with this amount of volatility. So once the news dies down, that volatility will die down with it. And once that happens, we will single day up the ladder for loss. Right? We'll close them out. But I think we're good at 116. I think we're good at 116. We got daily res, weekly res up there. And that would, nah, I don't like that as supply. So we'll put it up there, 109. So if we close the weekly above 109, then we'll be out of this, baby. But it's working on being an engulfing bullish weekly candle at the 50. So, I mean, this is in no way bearish. When we sell after we get, like, when we get short, once we break below the weekly 200 or 21, we're not, you're not always going to be right. You're not always going to be right. But sometimes you will. And this is actually kind of a pretty big bounce already it's had for the last multiple days. So, I mean, I think we're good at 116. All we need is for volatility to die down and this thing to trade sideways for 5 or 10 days, and we'll make money. We'll make money. We bought our house in January. Rate slashes next year will be nice. Also hoping asset prices don't decrease too much. I hear you. Good morning, traders. What's up, Ruben? Why didn't you wait to see what price was going to do at the open around 15 minutes after the open before taking the trade, since the open was so volatile? Because we were making a fresh low of day. It's just that simple. Daily low. So, like, if we go back to it, look where it is now, right? It's absolute garbage. All it did right here was run the stops. That's it. You can see over here, this was your low of day. It was the low of day. Waiting until the 15th minute could be a good idea, obviously, in hindsight. But I've bought the open many times, and then price just goes right in my direction. I should have waited on a fresh low day, though. You're correct. Because when it didn't get it here, I should have waited. Or better yet, I should have had my stop loss a little bit lower than the low of day. Because once it ran the low of day, it was just straight up after that. And then I got long right in here, remember, and it pushed all the way down to there. Look where it is now. So, I mean, I figure it's going to make a fresh daily high. That's why I was looking for longs. Long here, stopped out. Long here, stopped out. It's just day trading, bro. There is no 100% effective way to do it. It's just you do it. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. How is the cable doing? What cable? The TV's doing fine. I mean, the internet works good for streaming, for streaming HD movies. That's where I'm running into issues. That's where you have to be able to maintain like 5 megabytes per second of upload speed. It has to be maintained. With cell towers, internet with cell towers, it fluctuates, right? Depending on how much usage is happening on the tower. Me buying the SIM card for that router is the last step. I'm not doing anything else. So if I can't live stream with the new AT&T Internet Air that I bought, or with that, then I'll just start uploading daily videos, and there will be no more live streams. The thing that sucks about that, though, is you guys can't catch winning trades with me if you're not in the Discord. I don't post trades on Twitter that often, simply because the people in the Discord are paying a premium to be there. So any trades I post in the Discord. But if I'm doing a live stream, obviously I'll post trades on the live stream if there is a trade to take. Supposedly there is good news on Bitcoin, and I did eat a stop because it is pushing higher. So we'll see what happens with that, but there's a rumor out there that the ETF is going to pass. I haven't seen it specifically on Twitter or nothing else. Somebody in the Discord mentioned it, and that could absolutely be what's pushing Bitcoin higher. I mean, just because it's got a death cross, it does not mean it will go lower. It's just probabilities suggest it will, right? This could all just be a trap too. Like I said, if prices maintain daily closures above the 50 will come right back out of there. And then it'll start to go up with price. Obviously, I want Bitcoin to go up. Whenever I'm taking a short, it's just a hedge. I am just simply hedging for any serious downside risk. That's all it is. Right? I'm not even trading Bitcoin that much anymore. I'm just trying to protect the Bitcoin that I currently have. Because like I said, when it fluctuates $1,000, it hurts. $1,000 move in Bitcoin up or down, it really hurts or feels good because I own too much Bitcoin now. So I'm thinking about cutting that position in half just so that way I don't care so much about the fluctuations in price. But it is moving higher. So I did need to stop. It's all good. Not having a good day today. All good. The S&P 500, I kind of figured it was going to go higher. I just haven't been able to get positioned correctly for it. That's as simple as that. But it didn't, you can see it didn't take out yesterday's low or anything like that. It was just trading down around the 200. That's where I put my entry. So it is what it is. And then we were watching this right here, looking for an entry, and it was a trap to the downside. Back up she goes. I figure it will make a fresh daily high. I don't know if it'll take out yesterday's high or not, but I do expect it will take out today's high. As long as the dollar keeps falling like this, there's no reason at all that it couldn't do that. Also, your advanced decline line is nice and juicy for bullishness. Look at your tech stocks. Tesla's now green on the day. Apple is barely red on the day. Where's Goog? Google's green. AMZN is green. No, red. Amazon's red on the day. And Meta green on the day. Meta's probably trying to break out of that descending trend line. Yeah, it's not trying to. It's done it. So yeah, if we close above daily res, I'll go ahead and shut down that other trade that I got on Meta. That this one. It's not down super huge though. This trade isn't. Like I said, this trade's got days on it. So if Meta wants to play those tricks and be a trap, potentially come back down in a day or two, this trade will end up working out. Like, you know, but this looks strong. And I mean, this stock was strong yesterday when everything else was weak. If I'd have closed it down here, it would have been instead of having a $200 and something loss today, it would have been a gain of that easily. I just wasn't around to close the position. Had a day out with my girl. It's all good. That'll get made back. And I know that simply because time shows me that I'm profitable. Bitcoin is moving very strangely. Yes, it is. It's moving to the upside, which is something it typically doesn't do anymore. How's the cable? It's not good. Pound dollar. Let's go look at it. Let's go look at the pound. I am holding a short on this. The short I am holding is actually doing very well. Very well. So, yeah, it's had a nice. I mean, look at how many days in a row you were down. So, yeah, I might close that trade out and look to re enter on a bigger bounce. Too far away from the tower. Did it move yet? Yeah. All right. So, we're in a USDCHF long. We bought it down here at daily support. So we're setting long right in here. And that trade is performing nicely. USD JPY is going to get stopped out. It's a short I'm in from the high over here. I've been in this trade since freaking forever, it seems like. October 2022, I was in that. That's when I entered it. But that trade paid me, it was the best trade I had all year. That trade right there made my year in 2022. And then obviously I'm just still holding on a very tiny piece of it from what I started with. So, but it's ultimately, if the BOJ doesn't intervene, it's their currency is going to keep going down, and that's just going to keep US dollar strength under it. But I am holding a short there, and finally I am short Aussie dollar from this white line right there, 0.67394. So still holding a lot of Forex trades that are doing fantastic. This is a fresh breakdown, and you've taken out the high, so that's a trap. But I don't know how long or how far this can last. It's also a 3-drive bottoming formation, aka Wyckoff accumulation. See that? Low, insignificant low, insignificant lower low. That's an accumulation formation. Will it break back out to the upside? Only if the dollar pulls back, right? The dollar is going up because of higher interest rates. So, yeah. Did it go up a little bit too far? Probably. Is it going to pull back? Yes. We've all been expecting it, but trying to time it is virtually impossible. I say virtually impossible because it's not impossible. I've proved it many times. Like when I bought Bitcoin's low, right? When I bought this candle's low, I bought it after we liquidated this low right here. Liquidated it, I bought it. And then I bought January 1st. I bought in there at support. So, I mean, buying in lows and selling highs, it is possible. There has to be a pretty good scenario for why you're doing it, other than it's just a high. For instance, we knew that the BOJ was going to intervene through here. So I took a short here, got stopped out after booking profits. And then on this like massive week it had to the upside, I waited for the DXY. Once the DXY liquidated its previous week's high, I got short via USD JPY. We knew the Japanese yen was going to sell $75 billion, and they did. So the plausible scenario for shorting there up at the high was based on the fact that we knew the BOJ was going to intervene, and I assumed the dollar would roll over if the BOJ intervened, and it did. So when you have good scenarios and good trade setups, it is possible, but every dog has his day. If that's your only strategy, you're going to get stuck. It's going to be very hard to become profitable because trying to pick a top is not the way to go. As of right now, we know the BOJ is not intervening, and they haven't said any rumors to state, or no rumors have been swirling around that they are going to. And in fact, they just had a rate decision last week and they did nothing and said they were going to do nothing. So that's almost a guaranteed long. I've been telling people since it's been trading over here that it was going to break out. And it did, and it has. I should have closed the short and went long. Is what I should have done. But yeah, you're not going to catch every single swing low or swing high. It's best to just trade with the trend. When you get pullbacks, get long. If the trend is up, if the trend is down, get short. Currently on AMD, the trend is up, so we'll see how that trade ends up working out. And since it's a sold call, a short call, it doesn't have to. Let me see here. How can I word this? Like, I can hold it even if price is going up. Once volatility gets crushed out of it, right? Once this IV right here, oh, this is meta, that's why. Where are we at? 36 days out. So once this volatility crushes out, and it will, it's got a pretty much inverse correlation right now with vol. That's because of the skew. Usually your longer dated stuff should have a higher IV, right? But you can see these are all in the 40s. Whereas this volatility, the week we picked, has the highest volatility than any other week, minus the week we're currently on. So if the S&P continues to go up, the VIX will do what? The VIX will do what? It'll go down. When the VIX goes down, volatility will go down. And then that trade will make money. All I needed to do is stay under where I sold it at. That's it. I just needed to stay under where I sold it, which was 116. And that's close to one standard deviation away. And price will stay within one standard deviation. Down here is your downside standard deviation. It'll stay there 68% of the time. That's the stats. 68% of the time, price will stay in between this line and this line, this dotted line. All we need to do is just stay under 116. So going back to AMD, right, it's having a hell of a day today, no doubt about it. But it won't have a hell of a day forever. Can it have like 3 hell of a days? Yeah, it can. And it can have a big move to the upside. So we'll keep a keen eye on it. I'm not going to hold it. If it gets to the point to where I'm losing 70 or 80 bucks on it, I'll probably close it. But I'd say, based on everything, that it's a decent trade. Will it make money? Well, let's go check out the probability of profitability because we can do that, right? Will this trade make any money at all? Well, there is a probability of 81% chance that it will make at least 1 penny or more. High probability trades. They work out more often than your standard directionally biased 50% trade. So this thing can literally go up, stall out, trade sideways. It can break out. It can do whatever it wants, right? As long as it stays under 116 by what? The expiration date. And the expiration date is before earnings. 36 days out. So November 3rd. And you can see that there's earnings on November 7th. We go back to the chart, we can see there's earnings here. So well, that's wrong. Either they're wrong, either TradingView is wrong or tastytrade is wrong, because tastytrade says that they're going to have their earnings on the 7th. E stands for earnings. But according to Tasty, they say they're going to have them in October 31st on a Tuesday. So I will figure out which one's right. If they are right, then I'll close it before earnings. But we just needed to trade sideways and volatility to go down, and that trade will become profitable. Morning, Rivian. Earnings come out soon. Can you take a look? Sure. I'm not sure the ticker on it, so RIVN. It did get a nice boost after it made yearly lows. Fresh yearly lows, Wyckoff accumulation. Is this setting up a cup and handle? Probably. Are they profitable yet? I don't think so. But I mean, in this market, it doesn't really matter if you're profitable. It just matters if you're making money. Now, they're not profitable. They're actually $5 billion in the hole. But if this number is going down, like if they were $6 billion in the hole and now they're only $5 billion in the hole, then people will start buying it. I mean, people have started buying it. And it looks like they have beat earnings almost every single time they've had it, except for twice. So it looks like they do good on earnings, but the stock price still fell. So this is probably a better evaluation for a company that is in the whole $6 billion or $5.9 billion. $22 a share. Let's pull up some financials and just sneak a peek here. Well, they're guiding higher, so that's good. That's one good thing. They don't pay a dividend. They're not making money though. Well, this one they did. See how you got revenues of 661, 663, 536, 364. So they are starting to make more money. That's why the stock is going up. And we can do price to earnings ratio. It doesn't give it to us. Damn it. That's what I was wanting to see. Market capitalization is 21.4 bill. So I don't understand why they can't give us a price to earnings ratio, seeing how they got the market cap. I don't know. They are making money. They're doing better. So as long as they continue to do good, the stock price should continue to go higher. It structurally looks better than it did down here. Trust me. So, I mean, it's good that you got up above that, but it's not so good that you're struggling in this range. But at the same time, this is probably a buying opportunity. I hate selling puts, but I guess one could buy calls on it. Yeah, they even got weeklies. I wouldn't buy any calls because the IV is too freaking high. So with this, I would probably just buy the underlying shares, right? Because you're gonna pay too much for the premium if you buy the calls. The only if like I said, if the VIX starts going back down, then that implied volatility is gonna go lower. I mean, you're still sitting at a 17.9 VIX. That's not low. This is the reason why your IV is so expensive on some of those things, and plus, I think your IV for Rivian probably stays fairly high, even if you got a 13 VIX, just based on the fact that it's a volatile asset. And the skews tick down to below 139, which is good. Skew up, VIX down. VIX up, skew down. That's typically how that works. When the skew's up, that's when you want to sell calls. The reason I don't like selling puts is because all you need is one bad newsprint to come out. Just one bad newsprint. And the stock could lose 20, 30%. All right? It could drop 20, 30% just from one bad newsprint. So how do you manage that risk? Like, knowing that you really can't, can you? Let's see what the premium is worth though, if we were interested. Yeah, you would have to, in order to make decent premium for this account size, or 380 down. That's what the options market is pricing it in at. So I couldn't I couldn't sell any puts on this. I could sell calls, but given its structure, it doesn't look bad. Right? This is a nice 3 days in a row you got there. So if it falls back below this low, then I'll start looking to maybe sell some calls on it. But while it's got that big ass move there, that tells me that, with this 3 drive bottoming formation here, or your accumulation formation, that people were buying the hell out of it. And then it broke out big. Now it's accumulating again. So I can't sell calls on it. I can't sell puts on it. I can't buy calls or puts on it. If I was going to trade it, I would trade the underlying stock. And with something like this, I mean, can I give you technical levels? I can. You're trading right into supply. That's why you're pulling back today. Like, that's it. That's it. That's literally it. You didn't even trade into it. But when you look on the weekly, you got really close. So that's why you're pulling back. So if you want to buy it, watch it around $20. If you lose $20, I would exit my position. Oh, pound dollar. I got you when you said cable. I got you. Sorry. Yeah, pound dollar it's bouncing today, but I'm short. I'm still holding a short on it. And Bitcoin made fresh daily high, by the way. Bitcoin made a fresh daily high. Yep. It's trading very strangely. This right here is weekly supply, so it just essentially traded down to that and bounced. But I do figure it'll roll back over because of the death cross on the daily. So if it makes another fresh high in the day or pushes to 27K, I might take another swing at it. Or I'll just do what I did yesterday. I'll watch hourly res. If hourly res holds, I'll take another shot at it. Delivery numbers come out. Yeah. Rumor is good. Yep. All right, you guys. Yeah, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Make sure you smash the like button. I'd appreciate that too. Make sure you guys trade safe. Always trade safe. Manage your risk. Keep your losers small and your winners small as well. If you do that over time, you will make money. So with that, we'll go ahead and end the stream and say thank you so much. Make sure you guys trade safe, trade smart, and as always, happy trading, everybody.